of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. Now I never been down with no OPP. I talking about selling our people's property. Don't know who doing it, so don't round me out. Don't send no police round me and tell me shush my mouth. Where's our conviction? But where's our pride? We selling everything, selling our backside. Just go online, it'll make you sick. You can buy any island, just point and click. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. Hey, hey. Ride him. My mother always say, when you find a donkey, ride it. Who's donkey? What? Come on. We got a whole nation in 73. Now we getting back the whole country. What kind of fools we must be, selling out for a bag of rice and a cup of tea. You know what does bug me? Help me understand. I can't find piece of property for under 80 grand. But I can fix this, I know what to do. I can squat just like them other people try make me do. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country. Ooh, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. I get everybody sells some every night. They're selling one island, give away one key. What can be left for you and me? It's just an example, what's our kids to do? You want them have a sense of pride, or go selling too. Cause they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes man. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha.
Whoa, girls, we out doing
Well, I didn't follow all of the words or the statements of Brent Simonet, but I did know that I took note that he said that what I did was not unlawful. And I would invite Brent Simonet to examine his own record before he could point fingers. Here it is, we're talking about someone who introduced a Commercial Enterprises Act to allow persons in this country to bypass every process to obtain status in this country. We are talking about someone who had to resign on 2 occasions from the cabinet of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And so his own record ought to be examined before he could point fingers at anyone. In my view, he have no moral authority to speak to me on this matter.
He also said,
Do I have political aspirations?
You are run for assembly or you want to be appointed to the Senate?
I love politics.
That's not the question, man. Stop being smart.
Should
Do you intend to offer yourself if the opportunity arises?
Should an opportunity arises that I feel makes sense, and an opportunity did come about, things in proper perspective here, I was offered
A position.
an opportunity to run
And you decline.
position, and I feel as if it would put me in a better position. We have expanded so much so that we've stopped using the ATRs, and now the 130-seat Bahamas Air jet flies into Cape Haitian, goes in full, comes out full.
Regularly.
So now you, at the ticket prices of around $500 to $600. So
To get to Haiti?
yeah, so you do the math. Every week on a Tuesday and every week on a Saturday, twice per week. Do the math yourself. $500 times 130, twice a week. Haitians ain't contributing.
I mean, the woman get bigger for any old Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yes,
And
yes.
the child becomes a citizen.
Yeah.
And next 18 years, he could run for parliament in my country.
Just as you
try going down to Haiti.
Just
your
as
man,
you-
you're part from Haiti, right?
just as
you go down there and try
up
it.
any
Bahamian.
yes, because
That's
I'm
right. So
Bahamian.
you think Bahamian citizenship is something?
I
to
don't
be-
know. No,
you
I
think
don't.
citizenship is like popcorn? Eh?
No. What I do
Why you don't go back to Haiti and open a business, Louis?
why don't you stop being
have
sexist?
you have any relatives in Haiti
You're
right
being
now?
sexist.
Do you have any relatives in Haiti?
I have plenty, but you're being
Why
sexist.
don't you ever go back and set up a business in Haiti to try
Why
to
you don't go
improve
to the
there?
United States and set up? You got
I am
over there.
not, I'm from Andros.
I am from Nassau, Camp Road boy.
But originally, you came. Your daddy.
I originated
Where
from
your daddy
Nassau.
brought you from? Where your daddy came from?
My daddy's from the northern part of Haiti.
Which?
Let me just say that I have always been a part of this community. And there's no accident I know how to do all the dancing. Because I always be and share with you. Because you are me and I am you. And I'll be here with you always. And those who knew me from the past and know me now, they always knew that I was there and always been there for you. I don't call you all, no, you all are not Haitians, Bahamians. You are Bahamian, and your origin is Haitian. Mine too, and many of us. We have to stay apart for now so we can be together later. In on now.
Are you all ready and willing to go?
Est-ce que nous tous préparés pour retourner back à Haïti? Non. Pays à bagan là. Président le problème pays mettez nous dehors. Pas de travail, pas de rien. Pas de manger, pas de manger, pas de boire.
Good afternoon, Bahamas, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for spending your evening with us. It's always a pleasure to have you with us wherever you're tuning in from. There are persons all over the Bahamas and all over the world watching this right now. There are some people outside listening this on Family Islands. There are persons in certain neighborhoods watching this. And so wherever you're broadcasting from or watching from right now, we thank you for tuning in. Remember, you have to spread the message. You have to spread the word because the media has sold out. The media is not interested in the truth, and they are interested in blocking the truth so that the truth never gets to the Bahamian people. Our country is under attack, and it is imperative that we stand up and defend this one nation that we have. We've never seen any criminal activity from the government like we are seeing right now. We've never seen in the history of the world a government that is betraying its own people the way this government is, that is allowing an invasion of their own country the way our government is doing right now. And so we have to stand up, Bahamian people, when the government starts to fail, when the government becomes tyrants and starts to act like dictators, the citizens have a duty to stand up. That is your duty, not just your right, but your duty to speak up and to stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a state of crisis right now in this country. All around, nothing works. BPL doesn't work. They're back to load shedding. Nothing works. We can barely get good internet. Our streets are destroying our vehicles. Nothing works. Our hospital system, our healthcare system, nothing works in this country. Nothing. Our social security system, which is NIB, it doesn't work. It's falling apart. This whole entire nation is falling apart. We can't afford this crappy electricity that they're giving us. Nothing is working in this country, and we cannot continue to accept that as a people. The same PLP and FNM have failed us. Do we keep continuing to go with the failures? Someone says, oh, well, we don't know what Lincoln and those are going to do. But you know what the FNM and PLP is going to do. They're going to fail you. They are destroying this nation with their corruption. We see it every time. This thing that's happening with Keith Bell, how many times do we have to go through this? So what next? Do we go to Michael Pintard, Fred Smith's crony, who was financed by Fred Smith? Do we go to him now, who was endorsed by Brent Simonet? Do we go to him? Do we go to Grave Davis and continue with his failure and his traveling and spending all this crazy money? The government don't have money for this or that, but oh, they're going to take $70 million to continue to pay for that hotel that they bought. Their expenses for that hotel is more than they paid for it. And everyone is forgetting that. And they sold it a couple times, according to them, but it never sold. Nothing is working in this nation. But they want us to celebrate. Now, they know how to party. That's the one thing that they can get right. They know how to party and spend that money partying. They can ball your money away. They can flit it away and then say the country broke. They can't afford that. Nothing works. We have to save this country. And we're going to continue to stand up. And of course, you know that on Sunday, we released the bombshell. We dropped an atomic bomb on this corrupt government. And we released evidence to show that the government was complicit in issuing our citizenship like candy and doing so unlawfully. But we're going to show you some more stuff tonight. We're going to show you something. We're going to break this down for you because they're trying to talk it away. They're complicit in this evil doing, in this corruption. Now, we need you to share and tag some of your friends and family. Make sure that they're here because the government is not going to allow this to be shared automatically, and in fact, it's going to be blocked. All right, and so you have to make sure that you share this in your family groups, wherever you can. Make sure that your people are here and make sure they know what's going on. I'm going to get straight to the point. Keith Bell responded, and he responded with a response to me that was so absolutely asinine that I almost didn't want to waste time responding to him. I think first what I should do is read his response. There's also a newspaper article that dealt with it. But Keith Bell actually responded. I actually wasn't going to read it, so I didn't have this lined up and ready for you. But I'm going to let you know what Keith Bell had to say. This actually made it worse. This made us know that the man's intentions were definitely unlawful, and he knew that what he was doing was unlawful. In fact, he said that what he was doing was unlawful. And so we're going to set him straight tonight, and all of the trolls that they have sent to try to defend this nonsense, we're also going to set them straight, and we're going to actually delve into the law, and we're going to show you the law. I will tell you what I did was I spoke to several former ministers of immigration to ask them what their experience was. I had a good long conversation with Brian McCartney to ask him what was his conversation, what was his experience, and what did he ever swear in anyone? I asked Ellsworth Johnson the same thing. What do you think of what happened? And did you ever swear in anybody? Do you know of any minister who ever swore in anybody to become a citizen? What was your experience? And I got their experience, and it was quite interesting. All right. I don't have Keith Bell's statement lined up, but I have the Tribune article that I'm going to refer to. I think I'll just put it on the screen for y'all. Let's put that straight on the screen. What he had to say. I'm just going to share the screen. Yeah, I'm going to share the screen so we can look at this nonsense together. I'm sorry to have to put you through this, but don't blame me, blame the PLP. Just share my screen so we can look at this together, because we're gonna look. I want you to hang with me today. We're gonna actually look at the law, because they're trying to make it look like he did nothing wrong. Well, we'll see what the law has to say about that. All right. So here we go. All right. This is the article that they published today. Bell, improper. Minister said oath given at funeral was unorthodox. Simonet says highly irregular move, deserves resignation. Cabinet had given approval to family. The cabinet had given approval to family. The cabinet of the Bahamas had given approval to the family. Well, I want to know where the cabinet got that authority from to go against the Constitution of the Bahamas. But we're going to get into all that tonight. We're going to have an educated conversation today. We're just rowing, because we're not looking for regular followers. We're looking for informed followers. Immigration Minister Keith Bell yesterday defended conferring citizenship to a woman and her two children at a funeral on Saturday, even as one of his predecessors, Brent Simonet, said his decisions were highly improper and warranted his resignation from cabinet. Audio of Bell swearing in 3 people during a funeral at Metropolitan Church of the Nazarene on Saturday went viral over the weekend. And you would notice that I was the person that released that audio. I was the person who released all of this, but no one in the media wants to mention my name. They're afraid to mention my name. They are terrified in the media. They got instructions not to touch Lincoln Bain and the COI unless it's something negative. And so to continue, in the recording, Mr. Bell acknowledges that conferring citizenship at a funeral was unorthodox. He can be heard presenting the people with certificates saying he was doing so on behalf of the Prime Minister, the cabinet, and Bahamians everywhere. Mr. Bell told the Tribune he was attending the funeral of Frank Racine, a man born in Haiti who came to the Bahamas in the 1990s. He said Mr. Racine's wife was also born in Haiti, so that's 2 Haitians, foreigners, and his 2 children were born in the Bahamas. He said Mr. Racine asked for help after his renal kidney failure diagnosis. He applied for citizenship under the former administration. I spoke to Ellsworth Johnson about that, and I'll get to that later. All right. What else do we have here? He applied for citizenship under the previous administration, but nothing was done. He said, as he cried, he said that he did not want to die, and his wife and children was left in no man's land. I told him I would look into this matter. It took some time, but his file was located. Mr. Bell said he took the matter to Cabinet and the Immigration Board, and that Mr. Racine and his family were approved for citizenship. He said that why they were approved for citizenship. You see that? They were approved for citizenship. All right, we'll get to the bottom of that. His whole family. He said while Racine was sworn in, several outstanding matters related to his wife and children prevented them from being sworn in simultaneously. By the time as this was done, I was abroad on government business and he had to be admitted to hospital. Mr. Bell said he called me and said that he was in hospital. I told him that everything had been done and that as soon as I returned home, I would swear in his wife in his presence. He said, "Thank you and God bless you." He died. In honoring my commitment to him, his wife and children received their citizenship. Nonetheless, Mr. Simonet called for a full investigation. He said when he was minister, swearing-in events happened in Hawkins's office in a designated room with no press because the event was a very solemn occasion. And every minister I spoke to, they repeated the same thing. It is a solemn event. He said a senior immigration officer, either the director or deputy director of immigration, led proceedings, administered the oath, and did all the procedural work for the swearing in. Mr. Simonet said he never administered an oath. So I can tell you that Mr. Simonet never administered an oath. I spoke to former Minister Ellsworth Johnson. He said he never administered an oath. I also spoke to Brian McCartney, who also said he never administered the oath. Further, he said, I am unaware, up to date, of any swearing in happening elsewhere than in, say, the magistrate court in Abaco, the immigration office in Freeport, or sometimes you can do it in the administrator's office in a family island, but it'll be in a government office. At the sidelines of a funeral, I don't want to say if it's not illegal, it's highly improper at best. He said if an immigration official did not administer the oath, this would be highly irregular. So he said he obviously went to that funeral with the intention of giving this girl or woman a certificate and making a public show for political reasons. As a matter which is putting into ridicule the whole solemn issue of issuing citizenship, which is one of the greatest attributes the government has to give any national any country. I think the minister should step down. There should be a full investigation into this matter, and if his name is cleared, he should be reappointed. On the face of it, he has done an act which is totally improper for either political or personal gain. That is the former corrupt MP, Brent Simonet, corrupt at its highest. But we heard his words because he was in that position before. All right. Now we're going to discuss some things. We heard his response. And we also heard his response to Brent Simonet. I'm going to let you hear his response to Brent Simonet again first before I delve into this and delve into what the real issues here is. Let's delve into this. Here we go. Here is his nonchalant response.
Well, I didn't follow all of the words or the statements of Brent Simonet, but I did know that I took note that he said that what I did was not unlawful. And I would invite Brent Simonet to examine his own record before he could point fingers.
Brent Simonet did not say it wasn't wasn't unlawful. He said he didn't want to speak to that part of it, but he said at best it's highly improper. All right, and so I don't know where Keith Bell got that from, but Keith Bell himself admitted that what he was doing was not sanctioned by the law. The law did not allow for not one part of what he was doing. That's his words. Let's continue with Keith.
Here it is. We're talking about someone who introduced a Commercial Enterprises Act to allow persons in this country to bypass every process to obtain status in this country. We are talking about someone who had to resign on 2 occasions from the cabinet of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And so his own record ought to be examined before he could point fingers at anyone. In my view, he have no moral authority to speak to me on this matter.
He also said,
The PLP and FNM's response whenever they are caught in corruption is to say, well, the other side did it too. Look at what they did. I don't know when the Bahamian people are going to be tired of this, but we have to be the most simplest people in the world to continue to accept this. His response is, oh, but look at what Brent Simonet did. They passed a law to allow people to come in the country. Okay, I agree. I don't like the law that they passed. I think it was bordering on criminal. But they passed a law, and then they went by the law. You broke the law, Keith. There's a law in place that you are breaking by doing this, and we're going to break it all down for the Bahamian people. So what are you talking about? We are tired of the back and forth, and he did this too, she did this too. Listen, we're tired of that. That's the old weapons, and it's not working anymore. We're waking up. And so I just want to play that before I moved on. But now let's delve into this in a minute. What disturbs me the most is that it is the Haitian people who are most offended by this. It was the Haitian people who sent me audio of this. The Haitian people were like, but I had to wait until I was 18 to apply. Another one was like, well, I've been in this country for so long and I applied and I'm still waiting. How does he get this privilege? Is it because he paid off someone? Maybe he paid Louis Georges, and I can't say he did that. Maybe he paid Louis Georges, who paid Keith Bell, because someone is getting paid somewhere, because this doesn't make any sense. This has nothing to do with this nonsense he's talking about compassion, but I'm going to break that down in a minute. The difference with Brent Simonet and Keith Bell was that Brent Simonet resigned when he did wrong. Keith Bell, you said it, he resigned twice. And guess who put the pressure on him to resign? Lincoln Bain. I spanked him up. I put the pressure on him. And then after he resigned, I interviewed him because he would never take interviews. He took interviews from me. And I said, why did you resign? He said, because Ingram would have fired me. That was his response. He said, Ingram would have fired me. Ingram don't care who you are, he'd have fired me. But he resigned. Keith Bell, you must resign. According to the Westminster system that you guys quote whenever you want to your advantage, you must resign. Now, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. Keith Bell himself said, while he's being interviewed, while he was doing this swearing in nonsense, he said that the law does not allow for not one part of what he was doing. Let's hear it again tonight. What did he mean by that when he said it? Because I see some trolls are trying to twist it and make it seem like he was talking about something different. No. He knew what he was saying. One, it was unorthodox, he said first, and afterwards, he said after he swore the person in, he said the law does not dispense with any part of what I'm doing. The law does not allow for any part of this. And that's why he said no recording. We don't need no evidence of this. It's all in secret to do. Secrets are being revealed because it's time for a new generation. Well, here's some of the rules that were broken. Let's break this down. One, the procedure that is in place right now in this country is that if a Bahamian marries someone else, a foreigner, that foreigner first gets a spousal permit for about 5 years, actually. I spoke to 2 immigration ministers about that today. Brian McCartney said, yeah, for about 5 years, they first get a spousal permit. So if she's getting this because he got his papers and she is getting it based on him, then she should have first gotten a spousal permit. Now, what he said at the funeral was that he got his papers straight, but he was hoping that he could live longer so she could get the papers, his family get the papers through him. That's what he said at the funeral. But now he's switching it to make it seem like all of them was doing this process at the same time. All right? And of course, we know one thing about them, they lie. But in any event, if she was getting it through him, she was supposed to first get a spousal permit. All right? And on top of that, if the spouse dies while you are applying, your application is done. It's canceled. It's over. If the sponsor dies, that's it. He died. It's supposed to be it. But of course, it's PLP is in power and everything is for sale. And so that's what should have happened. So the first law that was being broken is that the policy is she should have gotten the spousal permit. All right? But she didn't. Because why? The PLP in power. All right. Okay. So further, the children. It is clear that the children, both of them, were born to foreign parents. Foreign parents. I don't know if I have to explain this because this has been explained and gone through so many times. I don't know if I have to read this or show you this or anything, but all of us know Article 7 of the Constitution so well nowadays. We quote it all the time. Article 7 is clear. If you are in this country and you are born to 2 foreign parents, what is the procedure? What is it? If you are born to 2 foreign parents, you can apply at the age of 18. That's the law. That's Article 7. And so, how is it that they're saying that these two kids that people are saying they probably with 7 and 8, that's a guesstimate. How is it that they're able to get citizenship? What law empowers the cabinet to go against the Constitution? Huh? Which cabinet can approve something that is against the Constitution? Okay, maybe you may need to see that. All right, maybe Keith Bell can't read, or the PLP has lost his ability to read, because they just seem to be in the law-breaking business right now. Here it is. Article 7, a person born in the Bahamas after the 9th of July, 1973, neither of whose parents is a citizen of the Bahamas, shall be entitled, upon making application on his attaining the age of 18 years, or within 12 months thereafter, in such manner as may be prescribed, to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas. All right? So they can make their application at the age of 18, which is what they normally do. And I spoke to so many persons in that situation who are angry that they had to go through this whole process, and they're trying to figure out, even Luby had to go through that process. I know that for a fact. How all of a sudden you got these two children who can go circumvent this process? It's disturbing to me. It's disturbing. So that's the law. And so that's another law that was broken. So did Keith Bell break the law? Clearly, he's breaking the law. See, this isn't just about, oh, he did it in the church. That's unorthodox. He shouldn't do it in the church. No. There's laws. There's procedures. The law must be equal. That's the rule of law. You can't have one rule for this person, another rule for that person. If persons are made to wait till they're 18, you can't just pluck persons out and say, okay, you don't have to wait till you're 18. I'm the boss. I'm the king. It's good to be the king. You can't just say that. It's not something that should be done. All right? And so that's the next law that was broken. So we're now touch on a couple of laws. All right? And so again, I told you Brian McCartney and Ellsworth and Brent have said that they've never given the oath. Now, let's go to that oath. Because who gave that oath? Keith Bell gave that oath. Who told Keith Bell that he can give an oath? So we need to know who is supposed to be administering these oaths. So you know what we do? In the Coalition of Independence? We go to the law. Let's see if Keith Bell had a right to give that oath. And we can take bets on that. Did Keith Bell have a right to give that oath? Because no one else gave the oath before. How is it that all of a sudden Keith Bell has his own special law that he can do his own thing? And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Bahamas Nationality Regulations. Now there's the Bahamas Nationality Act, and a lot of people read the act, but they don't understand in law you have to read the regulations, because the regulations tell you the policies and how stuff is supposed to be done. So in every law you would see the laws, and then you would see the regulations. So every law you would see that. And so a lot of people just read the act and they misunderstand that there's the regulation that tells you the details or the policies and how things are supposed to be done. And that's how they fail to understand the law. All right? And so let's go to the Bahamas Nationality Regulations, which come under the Bahamas Nationality Act. So we're going to start digging through this because we need to understand this better. All right. So let's go to the act itself. All right, I'm just going to pull that up for you. Okay, there we go. So this is Bahamas nationality regulations. All right. So this is by registration. Everything is right here. They show you how it should be done. All right. And here we go. And right here in citizenship by registration. All right. And it actually tells you, see this section 4 right here. It talks about the oath when persons are being sworn in. All right. It says such oath of allegiance or declaration shall be subscribed or made before a justice of the peace or other person referred to in Regulation 23, who shall attest the same. You have to sign it. So the oath is supposed to be subscribed or made before a justice of the peace or other person referred to in Section 23. So the question is Keith Bell a justice of the peace? No, I don't think he's justice of the peace. Or other person in Regulation 23. So let's go to Regulation 23 and see if we can find Keith Bell in there. I'm sure they have Keith Bell name somewhere in here. The application for declaration, all right? And so if you see it, in the Bahamas, this is Section 8. Any justice of the peace or notary public or any person authorized to administer oaths. And that would not be Keith Bell. In fact, ministers are not supposed to interfere with the day-to-day operations. That's in the law. That's in the cabinet rules. And so Keith Bell should not have been administering this oath in the first place. Someone authorized in the Ministry Ministry of Immigration would normally do this. And they would have the minister there, but the minister would just give remarks, like a speech, and that's it. It would never be the person administering the oath. So does Keith Bell have the right? I don't see anywhere in law where he is allowed to administer that oath. And so that is another law that Keith Bell broke. And so Keith Bell is breaking the law left, right, and center as we go. I'm going to open the phone lines later. We got to go through this. All right. And so you're seeing the law for yourself with your own eyes. All right. Now, this is another thing. We spoke to witnesses. We spoke to witnesses there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly replay this. Keith Bell swearing in the Haitian lady. I will not call her Bahamian because at this time I see no proof that she's a Bahamian. I'm going to replay for you. The little video with her swearing, with her being sworn in. So interesting. I want someone to tell me what they hear, what's missing. I'm gonna skip over a little bit I'm gonna skip forward a little bit to when he was actually swearing her in. All right, let me see if I hit the nail on the head. Let's hear when he was swearing her in. I want you to listen carefully.
La loi does not allow me to dispense with any part of what I'm doing. Voulez-vous me faire ça ou to King Charles III, and believe I believe do swear that I Tracy, you repeat after me and say I, and then believe.
We said, Ms. Tracy, you repeat after me, I, and then call your name, whatever, right? And then he goes into reciting this oath. What's your I
believe do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to King Charles III, King of the Bahamas, his heirs and successors, according to law, and that I will faithfully observe the laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So help me God. With the Bible. La loi does not allow me to dispense with any part of what I'm doing. And so we will now sing the national.
The man didn't then say, the Lord does not allow me to dispense with any part of what I'm doing. Whew. In that little transaction, there is a lot of things wrong. I'm going to break it down for you. Not only is he not supposed to be the one doing that swearing in, all right? But when you do a swearing in, which is what she was doing, she did a swearing in, not affirmation. Whenever you swear in, what do you use to swear in? Anyone? Don't tell me. I know it's a little delay. It's going to take a minute. What do you use when you swear in? When you take an oath? What do you use? What do you use? Look at my smart people. All of you go to the head of the class. You use a Bible. At any point, did you hear him say, now you're going to put your hand on this Bible? And they were in church. They should have been able to find Bibles all over the place. You could pull up the Bible app if you want to. But you're supposed to swear in the Bible. Did any of you hear him say, okay, put your left hand on the Bible and put your right hand in the air? Or put your right hand on the Bible and put your left hand in there? Did you hear him say anything with the Bible? No. Because the witnesses who were there said that she did not swear in with a Bible. There was no Bible. He just told her to repeat after him. And so whereas everyone who does a swearing in uses a Bible, she did not. Okay? Another rule broken by Keith Bell in doing this unlawful act. And so we spoke to witnesses there. And guess what? The witness I spoke to is one Bahamian and several Haitian nationals. And all of them said, well, the Bahamian said she didn't really remember. All of the others said, no, she did not swear in with the Bible. She just repeated after him. Oh, okay. If you affirm, you don't use the Bible, but she was swearing in. She never used the Bible. All right? Now, the next thing is important if you listen to that oath again. The oath is displayed in a couple of places in the law. If you go to the Bahamas Nationality Act, that's the actual act, one of the regulations. In the third schedule, it tells you what the oath is, or in the regulations. So we're going to go to both of them, and we're going to see what the oath is that she was supposed to say. You know why we're going to the oath that she was supposed to say? Because he gave her the wrong oath. We keep fooling with these fellas in code suits, etc., and all they're trying to do is make money as fast as they could in 5 years so they could build their house and love themselves and vacation and stuff. And we keep respecting them. Oh, we got to get qualified persons qualified. Is Keith Bell not qualified? Is Keith Bell not qualified? He's an attorney. He's a former police officer. He's been in government before. Is he not qualified? How is that helping us get a better Bahamas? We need a different kind of crew. Because this qualified crew, they ain't making no sense. It's not working out. We need to fire them. So let's go in the actual law again. Let's go to the Bahamas Nationality Act. So we were looking in the regulations before. We're going to go directly to the Bahamas Nationality Act because the law is right there. I mean, and some of these media houses who cover this, they should actually go onto the act or call someone who know the act and really ask some questions. But of course, you heard them talk about this on Beyond Airlines, but no, they didn't bring me on the show because I'm not allowed, and we know why. We don't want the truth in any media in this country because the truth is dangerous, and they are afraid of the truth, and they have reason to be afraid of the truth. All right, so let's go. Let's screen record. Oh, screen record. That's screen share. Let's go to screen share. All right, so here we go. So this is the Bahamas Nationality Act. All right, so the sections are arranged. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the third schedule. So you have 3 schedules and the oath of allegiance. That's what they're supposed to take, the oath of allegiance. There it is. And so they're supposed to take the oath of allegiance. Let's go straight down to the oath of allegiance. That's the last thing that you're going to find in there. There we go, at the bottom. Boom. So I'm going to replay what she said. I'm going to replay it. Look at this oath of allegiance. Well, I can't do the 2 at the same time, right? Because I'm sharing the screen. It says, I do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God. That's it. And so, of course, you will change Her Majesty to Prince Charles. King Charles. That's fine. All right? So that's it. I put it to you that you heard much more than that when she was swearing in. Let's go back to that nonsense and let me show you what you heard. All right? Let me see if I can do the 2 at the same time so y'all can see it and hear it. Because this is shocking. All right. Okay. So I don't know what you're seeing right now, but okay. Let me go back and play this for you. Let me go back further. I think that's it. All right. Let's play that.
Tracy, you repeat after me and say I, and then full name. I, full name. Do swear that I will be faithful.
So far, so good. I, whatever, do swear that I will be faithful. Okay.
And bear true allegiance to King Charles III, King of the Bahamas.
Wait, what? The Bahamas, the democracy now has a king? He just said to Prince Charles III, King of the Bahamas. King of the Bahamas. The democracy. Now, in Article 71 of the Constitution, it says that executive authority is vested in Her Majesty, which will now be His Majesty, right? That's executive authority. We don't have a king. Let's continue. And that is not in the oath. As you can see, the oath is in front of you. It says, to Her Majesty the Queen, or I'll change it, to His Majesty King Charles, and he didn't even say that. I'll play it again to there. He didn't call him His Majesty. I don't know what he was doing. And it just said, the second, her heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God. That's it. All these other fancy.
And bear true allegiance to King Charles III.
So he just said to King Charles III. He didn't say to His Majesty. All right.
King of the Bahamas, his heirs and successors, according to law, and that I will faithfully observe the laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So help me God.
Remix. Now the thing with oaths is you have to say it verbatim. It has to be verbatim, word for word. You cannot remix it. It has to be exact. That is not the oath that she swore. So one, she didn't do it on the Bible. Two, the person swearing the oath was not supposed to be swearing the oath. And three, that wasn't the oath. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. This. Okay, so I mean, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. And so also the oath also appears in the regulations where they deal with that. If you go to page 16 of the regulation, for those of you who are following, page 16 of the regulation, it has the oath that you're supposed to take. All right. And so, and this is the oath of persons who are not a Commonwealth citizen. Let me just share this for you. Again, we're not a cult like the PLB and FNM, so we like educated people following us, not people who just jump up and down and support blindly. We want educated Bahamas because we want a new Bahamas. Here it is. This is Bahamas Nationality Regulations, and this is the oath of allegiance to be taken by an applicant who is not a Commonwealth citizen. So that would be her, because she's not a citizen of the Commonwealth. I, blankety blank, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty the Queen II, her heirs and successors, according to the law, so help me God. That's it. That's what she's supposed to swear. That's it. All the other Bahamas and the laws and commitment and judgment and whatever nonsense he was talking about in the New Day and Love Brave and all this foolishness, that was not a part of the oath. So she took the wrong oath. So your qualified person that you celebrated having qualified candidates did absolute garbage. All right, and it's supposed to be signed, and this oath is supposed to be administered by a justice of the peace, or the official title. All right, and it's not the minister. All right, and so I've stopped counting how many laws have been broken now. I've stopped counting. All right. And so for this man to say that he didn't break the law and that he shouldn't step down is shocking to me. All right. Keith Bell, we don't have a king, eh? But it looks like you think that you're a king because you're going around willy-nilly giving away citizenships. All right. Now, this is the next thing. The next law that was broken. Because we've been trying to research over the last couple of days, because they send out all the newspapers digitally now. We've been collecting them, and we had persons trying to collect them to make sure we could see who all these people are who are getting these naturalizations. Because when election time comes, you all need to have that ready to see who all these people are. So we got to collect them, right? They got to stay organized. What's the process with naturalization? All right. What's the process? So the man was naturalized and you're naturalizing these people. What's going on with that? So we're going to go to the regulations, section 7. All right, to the regulations, section 7. All right. And You challenge any one of these politicians to challenge me on the law. We're going to the regulations, and we're going to go to section 7. Section 7, subsection 2. This is naturalization. Right? Must be made to the minister in the form of form 6 in the first schedule. But listen what it says. 2. An applicant for a certificate of naturalization under section 9 of the Act shall publish in 2 separate issues of the Gazette and in 2 separate issues of one other newspaper circulating in the Bahamas, with an interval of not less than 6 days between the first and second publication. In each case, a notice of intention in Form 7 in the first schedule. So, did anybody see this woman, St. Helene Joseph Racine, in the newspapers? You all help me with this, please, because we've been looking and I ain't see her nowhere. So I don't know about you, but we've been looking and I ain't see it in the newspaper, and we are going to need them to present that in the Gazette, already published, not to be published. We need them to present that to show us where these people who they say was approved by cabinet, we need, because this is the law. And the cabinet can't make its own laws. We're going to need to see where this took place. Because if this didn't take place, and you went and swore them in, you are breaking the law. All right? And so, ladies and gentlemen, you have to put the name in the text, and I need you all to go and research the papers. We need to find this out. Anyone who has a Gazette, go and research the Gazettes, and let's see if we find these names published in the papers or the Gazette, anywhere. So her name is St. Helene. Her previous name was Joseph, because that's what's in the obituary, but they call her Racine. All right? The children's name are Nehemiah and Anne Racine. That's the children's name, Nehemiah and Anne Racine. We need the research to be done to see if any of these were published in the Gazette and the newspapers. I have not found it. In order for that to have gone through the process, that's one of the things that needs to have been done. All right? And so, also, the actual notice itself is in the first schedule, is number 7 in the first schedule. The actual notice itself, and that's not the only place in the law it says that there should be actual notice, all right? But it must be published and it must be noticed. But also on page 25, if you're following me on that, you're going to be able to see the actual notice itself, what should be published. Let me show that to you. These people are absolute criminals. They're criminals. All right? And so, let's go to page 25. Okay. So this is Form 7. The Bahamas Nationality Act, regulations, notice of intention to apply for either registration under Section 5 or naturalization under Section 9. All right? So Section 5 really talks about the spouse, the wife, and Section 9 talks about just naturalization, right? So notice is hereby given that blank blank of blank blank is applying to the minister responsible for nationality and citizenship for registration, naturalization as a citizen of the Bahamas, and that any person who knows any reason why registration and naturalization should not be granted should send a written and signed statement of the facts within 28 days. Remember, you always see this in the papers, right? This is it, and it should be signed. This is what you normally see in the paper. And this is in the law. So what they see in the paper is in the law. This is in the act. All right, in the regulations. If Keith Bell can show us this, now we know what the owner of one of the papers just fly all around with Brave Davis, right? And so we know, they might try pull something, but we got the papers. They're all digital. So any paper you pull up on a specific day, we got them. They digital. And we have every paper for a certain period of time. And he said this man, approached him in 2021, all the papers from 2021 was digital. And so, Bahamas, without just talking about where it took place or whether it was unorthodox or not, this minister has a serious quagmire in that he broke the law. I have just shown you the law. And I haven't touched on everything, I learned something being a gunfighter. If you shoot out all your bullets, you're now in a gunfight without a gun. So you shoot some and you hold, you wait. Then you shoot some and you wait. That's how you gunfight. Keith Bell, you broke all these laws and procedures. You broke this solemn exercise of giving away our citizenship. Keith Bell, we have been informed, and you need to answer to the public on whether this is true, that this is not the only time you did this. So this is not just about you helping someone who is dying. Keith Bell, you did this, according to these reports. At a branch meeting, you did the same thing. At a Carmichael branch meeting, you did exactly the same. You. What's your explanation there? I guess it's none, because you feel untouchable because you are doing all of Philip Brave Davis' dirty work. Ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open. Call in, tell me what you think. If you have any questions, anything you don't understand, this is your time. Call in now. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995. The man confessed to breaking the law and then came back. And they're trying to justify. But at the time that this happened, he admitted that he was breaking the law. 803-5995 is the number. Make sure we don't have this on silent. Yep, it was. There we go. Good evening, you're live.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate your show tonight. You do that nationality up. That ain't even a law.
I need you to talk a little bit louder.
Yeah. I said a nationality act, which is reading off.
Yes.
That ain't even a law. That wasn't signed by people and nothing like that. That's something they write. So them laws what they write on that ain't even law. Our Constitution, if he's going by the Constitution, even the guy who died, how did he get citizenship? You get what I'm trying to say?
The Nationality Act is a law. Now, there are some fraudulent things in the Nationality Act, but those things in the Nationality Act that are fraudulent, that they are using to give citizenship to, that they're using to give citizenship to Haitians, those parts would be void. All right, but that wouldn't void the whole thing. So you can use the Nationality Act for those parts that are actually lawful. All right. And so what they're doing with using that to issue citizenship is criminal. I can't say criminal is wrong, but
It's criminal.
yeah, it's wrong.
It's criminal because what he did, if you notice how he talked to the Bahamian people, and he talking on feelings, you agree with that?
Yes.
He said somebody come to him. Who was that? You talking on feelings. The country can't run on feelings. That's why the law.
Listen, man, we all know this man don't have no feelings. We all know that. They are trying to do that as an excuse to appeal to their base.
That's what I'm saying. I was just going to tell you, he was appealing to the people who he was there when he know what he going there to do. He ain't going there to no film. He going there to do what he do. You see what I'm saying? And let me ask you another, and it runs so deep because you hear two criminals firing back at each other, him and Brent Simmons.
Yeah.
Two of them break the law. They expose, I don't believe when people say the left and the right exposing each other. They taking time and then it turns shooting shot at each other. So they know, both sides know they be breaking the law. But here's my thing with Keith Bell. You can start up, and you notice he ain't no reporter, like what you breaking the, he ain't no reporter put no serious questions to this man.
No.
They let him like talk this like kaput talk. I don't care how he tries sensitive that he break the law, and I think he should pay for that. I honestly think this man should pay for that. Because how much that now to me? I think every from since he hit power, and they should run that back even longer than that. But from since he hit power, they should revisit everybody who he bring to the forefront as a Bahamian. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because if you got dirt, that's dirtiness, Lincoln. That's dirtiness, that's wickedness and dirtiness.
Yeah.
And then he called their name. I know he called their name, but he trying to play little you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
He trying to be a little subliminal because I call the show. And I tell them, don't use Lincoln only bring it to light with your heart in the darkness. And anybody would defend that. You don't even need on your side.
Yeah.
Anybody would defend that. You don't need them on your side because then how you can say this is a man of honor? How you can say this is a man of honor? And I say this again. How did the guy would pass? How did he, if he born in Haiti, our Constitution not even speak to that? To speak to the Haitians. And even, you know what he said? He said the children was born here. Our Constitution speaks to that too. It doesn't matter if they're born here, that's not saying that they're Bahamian. You still have a protocol to follow within our Constitution. I ain't even talk about the Nationality Act, what they butcher and then push forward.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know what that is. But I'm saying, what he did, he know was unconstitutional. He know that.
Yes.
And the thing is, he's still going to do it. So now that he get caught, I'm saying, who can hold this man accountable? Somebody got to be the fallen goat for this one. Somebody got to be the fallen goat for this one. Because I then start blazing up every radio station in this. I call around, and people go, "Oh, nigga, I don't want to hear what you feel about the man who I support for the first time." All I know is he exposed it when none of y'all stand up and do it. And guess what? He brave enough to say, you keep that. He ain't saying a member of parliament. The man calling him by name. That's a brave heart and no afraid girl. You stay strong, soldier. I got your back.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. 803-5995 is the number. Keith Bell, Page and Keith Bell. We have a gift for you at the Pinewood office of the Coalition of Independence. We have a gift for you. This is a parting gift for you as you leave our House of Assembly. This is a parting gift. It's your going away present. It's a beautiful, beautiful silver bracelet. It's not 925 silver, but it'll do. Good evening, you're live.
Good night, my president.
Good night, how you doing?
Yes, I don't know what to say. It's amazing with Mr. Bell. He made a statement. These reporters, why are there reporters? They don't ask questions.
They are just as criminal and just as demented. They are participating in this nonsense.
It is ridiculous. And then on top of it, he said the man named Mr. Racine, and like you said, she is Joseph. So everything he did is null and void.
Yeah.
He has to be in Haiti to denounce her citizenship. They really think Bahamians at the end of the day stupid. Bahamians have to get out there and stand.
Yeah.
Because how many more? So that means everybody who asked her to do a favor. So like they say, 10 from 2 is 10 from 2 come in his office or 100 come a day. He can do a favor.
Bahamians can't even find these people to get in touch with them to get no favor. I want to know how this immigrant gets so much access to this man.
Okay. And they are not there for the Bahamian people. Put their help in there.
I want you to look carefully. I have this on the screen now, from the obituary. That's the family, and that's the wife right there. All right, and it says Saint Helene Joseph, right there on the screen,
So why you swear
and she's sworn as Saint Helene Racine.
Who's swearing people with saying Miss Racine? No, how she see that? See, they're doing so much dirt. God just exposing them. So if she is supposed to be his wife, why she is not sworn in by her so-called government name, like we say, Mistress Helena? Even if he said Joseph Racine or whatever, you can say Miss Racine.
Yeah.
That ain't making no sense. See, what they have to realize at the end of the day, the people of the Coalition of Independence, we ain't stuck on stupid. We see things and we bring truth to power and we recognize a lot of mistakes. We do read. So we are different type of Bahamians. We're the Joshua generation. And I wish every Bahamian would stand up and get these people out. They need to, when the fifth come at the end of the day, nobody move, nobody get hurt.
Now, we were informed today by our persons inside the House of Assembly that House of Assembly on the 5th has been cancelled.
Oh, wow. How convenient.
There will be no House of Assembly on the 5th. They will not have the House of Assembly again until the 12th. All right?
Okay.
These people are terrified of us.
Yeah, because they know what the law is. If we stand 20,000 of us coming to square, we need a secret militia group at the end of the day to just set a code to say when we supposed to move. So when they're there, nobody move, nobody get hurt. And we just stand in the square for 3 days.
So we have to decide if we still want to go to the square on Wednesday or we want to go to Cabinet on Tuesday. All right, that's the decision.
Okay.
So we have to make that decision, and I'm gonna put it out to persons now and see what persons watching this how they feel, because Cabinet Keith Bell will be there, the Prime Minister will be there, and so that'll be July 4th on the Tuesday at Cabinet at the Prime Minister's office. So, ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you for your call. I appreciate it.
Okay, one more thing. Let us be facetious. So every time they're supposed to be in Cabinet, we need a form. We need to have a rally, and see how long they're going to continue to cancel. All right, good night.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you all think. Let me feel how you all feel about it. They canceled the House of Assembly next week. They canceled House of Assembly next week. I guess the year we coming, and so they either we could go on the Tuesday the day before, but we got to go to the Prime Minister's office where Cabinet is, or you go on the 12th, or you go on the 5th, but the House will be closed. All right. So, good evening, you're live.
Okay, good day, Mr. Ben.
Good day.
Okay, let's answer here. First thing, is the house open tomorrow?
The house?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's open tomorrow.
Okay. Certainly, as a candidate, as you and I are we were in the Parliamentary Act at the end?
Yes.
Okay, so you have then noticed that in the Parliamentary Act, it is illegal for any politician, candidate or sitting member to make promises whether they keep them or not.
Yes.
Okay. So the Parliamentary Act, which we should look is to govern the actions of MPs and cabinet ministers sitting in the House. And in that, once they breach laws that they're supposed to govern them, then things are supposed to happen. Okay? Everybody knows what Pete Beth did was out of order.
Yeah.
It's no different than when the FNM head minister brought in the mask. What he had to do?
Resign.
Okay. So Pete Beth knows that he made a mistake. Okay, that's why I said the Fred mentioned the other day. Anyone that voted for you that was not living in Fox Hill, that is wrong. Unconstitutionally, everyone that lived in Fox Hill is supposed to have voted for him. I told him that there are cases where allegedly people may have voted for him that do not live in Fox Hill, and it can be proven. Okay, that also is a breach in the Parliamentary Act.
Yes.
Okay, and so these things happen. Let's talk about disclosures. They're still not disclosing their earnings every year. Last election, I disclosed $60 profit, which is $60 above break even. If the nation goes back and look at Hakeem's declaration, because Fred didn't even declare, he just scribbled on the paper like a 2-year-old with no information, but he still was able to enter into Parliament. But Hakeem showed his cash flow was 200,000 or so under break even, which means he was break.
Yeah.
Now he lost his seat, given a post as economic director, and all they've been doing was taxing. If people understood that when they won in 2012, Hakeem was also the Minister of State for Finance. It's Hakeem's regime who put on the VAT on the people.
Now, I want to stick to what we're talking about here.
No problem. I want more people to get locked up because we've been talking about a lot of corruption here, and I just want to highlight more corruption.
Wherever there's corruption, we can lock all them up. You don't got to worry about that. And everything we were not going to talk in advance to let them know you're coming, because now they can know what to shred.
No, I need them too, because at the end of the day, we have eyes on them.
Yeah.
Later, brother.
All right. Thank you, man. Good evening, you're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Day. How you doing?
I'm awesome.
Yes, I understood. I just phoned in. I understood that we won't be going on Bay Street no longer.
We are making a decision now. We're going to have until Thursday. I'm going to go live again on Thursday, and we'll make a decision. I'm seeing what most people say, and it seems like most people are saying they want to go to Cabinet House on Tuesday because they don't want to wait until the 12th.
Okay, I want to ask
the next House of Assembly is on the 12th.
Okay, I want to ask a question. If the Prime Minister keep on ducking, what are we going to do next?
What do you mean if he keeps ducking?
Like every time, he heard that we coming now next to the Prime Minister office.
Listen,
yes, sir.
You don't have to be there, This is it's called a demonstration, and it's a show of force, all right? And we're going to go there, and we're going to deliver a letter. We're going there for a purpose. We are going to go there and deliver a letter demanding the resignation. We're going to give the evidence. We're going to give the laws that were broken, and we're going to deliver a letter demanding the resignation of Keith Bell. Remember, we did it last time in immigration, and they had to go and put some stuff in place because we delivered it in writing. We are going to demand it. See, right now, there's no complaint. There's nothing official to say that you want him to step down. And so we're going to go there. We're going to allow other persons to sign with us, just like we did with the immigration thing. And you see, after that, what they did, they went and stopped work permits from Haiti, etc., and they did some other stuff because we put it in writing. So we are going to demand his resignation in writing. We're going to put the laws that he broke, And we need the Bahamian people to come with us. If enough Bahamian people come there, it must be done. They sit and watch the response of the people. And if the people say, okay, I had to work, or I don't want to be seen on there, whatever, then they're going to continue to do what they want to do. But if the people come out, we can shut the government down. We don't have to go to Parliament to do this. We can shut the government down by the Prime Minister's office. If enough people come out there and they refuse to leave, the government must change. That is international law. We don't have to wait 5 years, but people have to have the courage to do what they need to do.
Because what we need to do now, don't just write one letter for Mr. Bell, write one for the Prime Minister, also to step down and resign, because he allowed these foolishness to go on, and he isn't doing anything about it, man. Come on, man. And the thing about it is, the commissioner of the police, them, man, what kind of country is this? These guys breaking all kind of law. The minute we as citizens go and break some laws, we get locked up.
Yeah.
You have all kind of police around our yard, all kind of machine gun, like, you're some kind of big time criminal. Come on, man. And not only that, what about the word? What type of country, man?
Yeah.
You understand?
I need at least 1,000 people out with the office of the Prime Minister on Tuesday.
Man, I done told my
At least.
What here, I said, listen to me. Tell you the boss, or tell you to come in late, whatever. You're gonna be there.
Yeah.
You understand? My wife and I, we always follow you. You know what I mean? Because I tied the PLD nonsense and the FNM, because we understand now they are one.
And so we're going to go there you can't go for 9 because you have to drive through traffic. Everyone is going to be late. We're going to go there for 9:30 to give everyone a chance to get there after traffic. Park wherever you can park. And we have to make a statement.
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll continue to listen.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right. Sorry, I lost the call. All right. So 803-5995 is the number, 803-5995. There's a lot going on in our country. We saw that the Prime Minister put some statement on social media talking about how they need Bahamians to be trained in certain jobs, and the director of immigration talked about how he put this team together, and he has a whole department now that's dealing with rejecting applications of companies that are trying to bring foreigners in to work with your Bahamians who can do that job. And he has a team and a department to do that now. Let me make this clear. He has no team. There's one woman sitting behind a cubicle that is, and she is taking it upon herself to do this job. No team was put together. Philip Brave Davis and the Director of Immigration is lying. All right? There's nothing that they're doing. All right? There's one woman, Ms. Miller, sitting behind a cubicle. And no, I haven't spoken to her about that. Sitting behind a cubicle. And she took it upon herself to start doing certain things. There's no department. That man who came on the Director of Labor, Farquharson, who came on there and talked about having a team, that's a lie. That's a lie. One woman sitting behind a cubicle at the Carmichael Road office. Absolute sense. All right? And so we got to wake up in this country. I also wanted to bring your attention quickly. This right here. A former Bahamian government official and lawyer was offered a $1 million bonus in 2021 to secure a business license for cryptocurrency exchange, FTX, within 10 weeks. FTX CEO John Ray III said in a filing in a bankruptcy court in Delaware yesterday. Asamina. How you doing tonight? Alison Maynard, are you a former government official? Are you a lawyer? Were you offered $1 million? We only got one. But one side he could use and one side you could use. You all have to share. Our live seems to have been attacked. Yeah, live seems to have been attacked. We seem to have been knocked off on some platforms. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like we were knocked off on some platforms, but that is fine. All right. That's fine. We'll keep going. We need some change. BPL, we have a lot to talk about with BPL. I have a lot of stuff to reveal to y'all. I have a lot of stuff. Someone said, yes, Facebook. Yeah. We need some change. Oh, wow. Yeah, they're knocking y'all off on Facebook. And the government has the ability to do this, and this is what they're doing. All right? Someone says Facebook is down. Yeah, they're knocking y'all off piece. They have the ability to do it. All right, so for some people it's up. So we went from 1,800 people on at one time to, and it's going way down. All right, so Facebook has been knocked off. You know why some people have been knocked off one by one. They're knocking them off. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the show there because we've said enough for the night. Keith Bell has broken the law. It is clear as day. I've spoken to there and further. Some people will be able to watch this afterwards, I guess, unless they block this. All right. The protest will now be. We're looking at, and I'll confirm everything on Thursday because I know some people wanted to fly in for this, and I'll give you enough notice. But for now, it's going to be at the Cabinet Office, that's the Prime Minister's office on West Bay, and that's on the 4th of July. All right, on the 4th of July. Remember that day? That's American Independence Day. That's on the 4th of July. All right, that's on the 4th of July. And so we need Damien to come out. If you want to come out, and you can make the change. As simple as that. We're going to deliver a letter to the Prime Minister demanding that he fire Keith Bell because of what we have found. All right, and as simple as that. Your presence will make it happen. And so we need this to be the first minister that has resigned. We've seen a lot of unlawful activities. We've seen the minister knock down the police and so many other stuff that has happened, and they seem to be above the law. All right, and in the meantime, the attacks against me are going to be vicious over the weekend. They're going to start bringing up all kind of stuff, and they're going to start trying all kind of things and saying all kind of things. That's what they always do. We need you all to fight them when you can, ignore them when you can, but just know that that's what they're going to do. That's the strategy. The old weapons, they're not working, but they don't have any creativity, so they think that just creating lies is going to work. All right, so they'll probably bring up some live top of their head, like, oh, Lincoln Baines' driver's license has been revoked, so he can't drive to the protests. They think of the stupidest things. All right, so that's what we have to do. So Facebook has been knocked off. Some of the Facebook. We're still on YouTube. For those of you who want to be on there, we're still on YouTube. So if you want to go on there, you can still get it there, and some other Facebook pages. But this is what the government is doing to shut the truth down. I've spoken to Keith Bell. Why is the Deputy Director of Immigration on leave? Because she challenged you. Because of stuff that is going on. We got some stuff to talk about with that Keith Bell. That's next. The Deputy Director of Immigration is put on leave. They don't want to participate in all this garbage. Somebody says I was knocked off. Yeah, they knocked everyone off, but you could come back on, it looks like. But they knocked everyone off. All right? There's a lot of nonsense going on in this country. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because they are attacking the Facebook. And so we're going to leave it there for the night. But we need you to be strong, spread the message. We're going to the cabinet office. We're going to the prime minister. I think every Bahamian, whether you're PLP, FNM, whatever you are, should want to take part in this because this is treason. This is treason. Ladies and gentlemen, change ain't coming. Change is here. We need you all to stay strong and realize that we're going to be able to make this happen. Today, this is the airport. Another 130 Haitians landed. They went 130 customers for corrupt politicians. That's them today. In the airport. Today. Did not stop coming. Fred Mitchell has also announced that all of those officials that left Haiti, they're back. Why? Why?
Do you need some help, guys? Yeah. Which airline are you with?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. We do this because we love you. You have to spread the word. You have to get the bodies out there on Tuesday. If you get the bodies out there, keep Bell going. If you don't, they're going to continue to naturalize more and more persons. Take the day off, on the sick day, etc., etc. We need change. God bless you. God bless the new Bahamas. See you next time.